Dirty trucking. Been sitting here. I don't want to say without a job. I don't have the equipment I need to perform the job, which is the rental car. Been sitting here since the 10th with no income coming in. And they did it right after I paid my rent. And like I said before, it was just a thought. I said, what if these bastards wait till I spend out all that money paying my rent, and then turn around and find a way to take this car so I don't have no income coming in. And they did it the very next day. And I was looking at how the bank operated. Because, see, the way I pay my rent is through my checking account. And it don't come out immediately, but it's notated that it's been paid. And all of a sudden, an abrupt payment came out to the rent. Right before this shit happened with Hertz. And I'm just letting you know now, there's no way out of this. See, I don't know why people do what they do to me. But it's obvious there's deliberate. Almost the exact same thing happens on every job. It happened in trucking. Because I got viewers out there that was keeping count for some goddamn reason. And I don't know any viewer that really does that. Well, it probably stays in your mind when somebody making those kind of videos. So I take that back. But for some reason, I think those particular viewers may have inside knowledge or something to do with what's going on. Because it's stuff they were saying. Some of them were saying that there's no way you could have known. So I'm just letting you know. I'm at home. I'm not looking for no other job. Because I had a job. And the only reason I don't have a job because a bill that popped up. Talking about I owe $140.42 popped up out of nowhere. So let me tell you the information I found out. Because I ain't leave y'all hanging, but I done found out some more information. So to pinpoint this all on Hertz, I refuse to pay $140.42 for simply just trying to update my form of payment. That's all that was going on the 5th. It was the Hertz location that told me that they could not update my form of payment without canceling out the contract, which meant I had to come up there and they had to close it out. For the life of me, I don't know any business in the year of 2024 where you can't go on the website and just change your form of payment or call on the phone and have a customer service rep change your form of payment without disrupting anything. But apparently at Hertz, but this location likes to lie all the time about what they can and can't do and what I'm supposed to be doing and paying for and not paying for. Like when they told me, excuse me, you know, when your parents, when they send you off to school, you got something around you, you know, they want to, parents do that. I had to do one of them numbers going back to the days. My father raised me, so I don't remember him ever having to do that. He just made us wash our face. It's probably this is why I'm built the way I am now, because of my dad. I was raised by my dad. No offense, but I was raised by my dad. But that's a totally different story. So, you can't update your form of payment. So, let me fill you in. So, they generate this invoice claiming I owed. And it's due to them, and they made it look like it was due to them subtracting the $215 out for the lockout. So what it looked like, they subtracted from the money that they already had on hold for that week. So that's what generated a balance. Plus you charged me for a day of keeping the car. I'm not going to pay $65 for an additional day because you couldn't update my form of payment over the phone. I had to come up there, interfere with my day, drive back up there for you to cancel it out, transfer everything over to the new account, put the new card on there, then pay for the week and roll out. That's not my fault. I don't pay $65 because you couldn't update my form of payment. That's what this was all about. 12.5 was all about updating my form of payment That's what generated this. But Hertz do not rent list department want to make it seem like I had a bill or didn't pay for it. Because when you close the account out, it would generate a bill right then and there if you owed it. There was no bill generated. And mind you, listen to what I said. When they closed that account out, they had to transfer all the information that was in that old contract number over to the new contract number. So if there was a balance, it would have been included in that. They told me to pay $288 and I was out the door. But I knew it was something funny with my account because a while back I asked for my gold rewards number because I wanted to log in on my account and just pay my shit online when I want to. Put my gold reward number in, it can't be found. Same thing with that invoice. They changed my address on that invoice. I don't know why everything that's happening to me, the address always date back to Alden Towers. What the fuck going on at Alden Towers? They changed the address back to Alden Towers. That contract, and when I got that car, you had my current address. Why did you change the address back to Alden Towers? Where did you get that from? And then I went up there on the 10th when I turned the car in. I'm showing these guys the invoice. The guy that was involved with it talking about he don't remember. See, that's what the do not rent list department did. They was expecting that. You waited 4 months after the fact when nobody's memory was good but mine about that day because that was all during the week. All this money came up out my account. Ain't nobody remember nothing, not even the supervisor. He said, I don't remember. But it sounds like what you're saying, you only owe for a day. How do I owe for a day when I paid you for that week on that day? The car was already paid up from 11/27 to December 4th. We could not extend it from December 4th to December 11th because we had to update the form of payment. But when I came in on the 5th, it changed the form of payment date to the Tuesday, which means the car was extended from December 5th to the 12th. But they talk to me as if the 5th wasn't paid for. I paid for the 5th to the 12th on the 5th. You had $285 to pay that car up to the 4th. On 12/5, I paid $288 to extend that car from 12/5 to 12/12. Where's you coming up out? Oh, so, but they created an invoice to make it look like it was some discrepancy on their end, how they subtracted the money out. But I remember that day about the lockout. I waited till after the weekend. I believe it was that Monday I called on the 27th to find out how much they charged me for that lockout. Then he said, I see they charged you $215. I said, $215. They said it was one something. Said they charged you for something about use of card. So it's $215. I said, I'm not going to pay that because the way that guy treated me. He said, well, what do you want me to do? I said, I want you to waive them charges. So he did. He waived the charges. I paid $285 that day. Over the phone. Over the phone. Over the phone. Because I had called. I wanted to know how much they billed me for the lockout. $285 was paid. You want to know why I know $285 was paid? Because when I first looked in my bank account on that Monday, it showed $285 for Hertz. And it wasn't until the next day when I logged in, looking for something else or doing something else, I saw a charge for $367.55. Now, the shit didn't hit the fan. Where did these charges come from? I'm calling all up to the location. They swearing up and down. They didn't charge me that. We don't see on the computer where we charge you that. We didn't charge you for the tow bill. Remember that. The tow bill was $83. There was another bill, a tow bill, $83. Keep that in mind because that's going to go along with the other invoice that I found out about. So he said, now he didn't remove the $215. You already had the money for that week. The money for the week. I'm talking to him on the phone to find out how much I was charged. $215. He removed it. And if I'm not mistaken, I went on ahead and told him to pay for the extended rental while we were on the phone. Okay. How do I owe you money? He already removed the $215. It's the way they do not rent list department. The billing department made it look like he removed the $215. They subtracted it from the amount that I had already paid. No, but that's what they want people to think. I paid them. He had already removed them. If $285 plus $215. What do you get? If you remove $215 from that total, what do you left to pay? That's $285. And if I paid that, how did you create an invoice going behind all that, looking like you subtracted the $215 from the $285? When I was on the phone with him, when he subtracted the $215, and my balance was $285, and we paid $285. You don't see where the trickery is? Did you just hear the trickery? Now, while I'm at the location, I got the do not rent list department on the phone, got them on speakerphone, because I want that location to hear what they told me. They still talking this yah shit. I said, and also, I need to know about the $367.55. That was another charge popped up in my account. Give me an invoice for that. Oh, my God, they got an invoice for it. This whole time, nobody knew where those charges from. That location told me it was a computer glitch. We don't see what we charge you, the $367.55. Had me calling Uber. Uber said we didn't charge you that. Can you send us something from your bank showing that came out your account? That's what they're telling me. Mind you, these phone calls are recorded. And if they don't find any recordings of what I'm saying to prove what I'm saying, they've been deleting them. This whole time I've been calling them. You think I would go to Detroit police if this was an invoice with a toll bill added on it? No, they told me it was a computer glitch that affected 6,000 customers, took their money, overdrawn their account. That's what they told me. They're working on it, give them till Friday. Friday came and went, I got my bank involved. The bank came back with an investigation that the charges was valid 2 times. And I'm like, who did you talk to? Hertz said they didn't bill me that. Uber said they didn't bill me that. Who did you talk to? So I just recently had them reopen that. All because of what they've been telling me. So let me tell you the trickery of what they did in the billing department. The billing department went behind what the rep did at the location. And he's a manager there. They went behind what he did on the phone. He physically removed the $215 while I was on the phone. That left me a $285 balance. My card was debited for the $285 balance. I was paid up until the 4th. But what the billing department did, this is where the trickery come in. You made it look like you just now removing the $215 when that week ended on the 4th and I was trying to extend when they closed the contract out on the 5th. They said, they made it look like we had this money on hold, but it didn't actually pay out until you turned the car back in, which they talking about the 5th. But it wasn't turned in. I'm just creating a new contract. You feel me? You follow me? I know it sounds tricky, but I caught your trick. What you did is you went behind what he did. I had fully paid for that week. You created an invoice looking like you subtracted the $215 from the money you already had on hold for the car. And that's why you saying I owe. And then on top of that, you threw an additional day on there, which was the 5th when I came up there to get the contract straightened out to add the new form of payment. I would not pay you $65. I would not pay you $140.42 for simply coming up there trying to change my form of payment, which you should have been able to done over the phone. And now get this. While I was at the location on the 10th, she sends me this invoice. Nobody's ever had, nobody's ever found. Everybody telling me it's some glitch shit. Now they got an invoice explaining why I was charged $367.55. I look at the invoice when I get home. There's a toll bill on there, $83. Now, mind you, I just told you, the location told me they didn't charge you for the $83 toll. He wasn't supposed to be there. We didn't charge you for that. Mind you, they just told you that. They just told me that. And I just told you they told me that. All this shit is recorded now. Why do I have an invoice with the toll bill on there? See, what they did was, when they went back in my account and popped that amount up on there, now you got to go back and create an invoice justifying why you did that. But these invoices got an old address on there. I didn't come into that location living at Alden Towers. I came living at this apartment. I came in there with my driver's license of this apartment. What you get Alden Towers for? And this the real clincher. And I wish I could have recorded this. They need to make a feature on the phone where you could actually be making videos and recording sound from a phone call at the same time. That's what you need to do. Because I would have caught this. I would have had the proof. That representative I'm talking to when I was sitting in that location, I said, send me a copy of the invoice about the $367.55. Now, this is new to me. Don't nobody at Hertz know about this shit or the $140.42. They just popping up invoices all willy-nilly and shit. So she sends the invoice to my email. She said, what's your email? I said, you should have my email on file. You just sent the other invoice to my email that's on file. Is it Juanita0036? Bitch, no. That's not my email. That's the oldest email I've ever had. That email is no longer in use and it's been deleted. Where did she get that from? This is the customer service rep at the do not rent list department. They've been getting on the phone, telling me all this bullshit. Now you're telling me you don't have my current email while I'm sitting there in the location. And you just emailed me an invoice to my email. But now my email suddenly changed. And then prior to that, before even going in there when I had them on the phone, they tried to tell me that the original contract was rented in October. Told me you rented the car on October 9th and returned it on 11/27. No, the fuck I didn't. I rented the car August 14th and didn't return it until April 10th. The fuck are you talking about, bitch? Come on. I got the invoice right here. You want me to email it to you? I said, no, I got my proof here. I should have told her yes. And then I would have got that proof too. This is their customer service reps telling me that. They the ones doing this shit. Seems y'all same deceptive billing practices is still going on. And you trying to get money out of me. I don't owe you shit. And now this the finale to let you know they're in the wrong. So when I first found out about the 140 from contacting the do not rent list, exactly 3 weeks ago now, I think that was the week of April 3rd. April 3rd, that's when I found out I owed 140. Arguing back and forth. Called a vehicle extension back. She said, I can go ahead and extend your vehicle. You're not on the do not rent list. I made a video about that. I said, how am I not on the do not rent list all of a sudden? Made a video about that. And I asked that lady, am I going to have this problem the next week? Next week, that's the week of the 10th. The week date of the 10th in that week. Same problem. Talking about this bill. I got to pay. Call do not rent. The same thing is about the bill. I said, how were you able to extend my rental last week, but now I'm back on the do not rent list? Either I owe or don't owe. She said, I don't. She said, you're not on the do not rent list because I questioned about it. I said, where on your computer do it show I owed 140, 50, 42? And why was I not made aware of it so I can get paid? That's when she said, I can go ahead and extend your rental right now if you like. And that you're not on the do not rent list. That's what she said. Because you know why? That's what I found out. Hertz fucked this up. First of all, look at the date on the invoice. If you scroll back to the video, it was 1/5/24. You created an invoice on 1/5/24. How come I was not put on the do not rent list then in January? That's January. Why did you wait till April? The invoice was created 1/5/24. Why wasn't I put on the do not rent list then? Okay, and you can't make the claim because we're dealing with a closed account. The account number was closed, but all the information to the account was transferred over to the new account number. You can't run that by me. Because I stood there and watched them and heard them say we got to transfer all the information over to the new account number because she's keeping the same car, and make sure you go back in there and put the correct car on there. I'm standing in the location. I remember the whole damn thing. I ain't making this shit up. So now, you generated an invoice on 1/5 that I didn't find out about until April when you started putting me on the do not rent list. Why did it take you that damn long? This is the killing part where they really fucked up. When I found out about it that week of the 3rd, he told me we already done sent you collections. That bitch was talking big shit. That customer service rep. She's talking about she proud of it. Like, I done just overlooked owing this. No, that's Hertz's job to let me know that was due. It didn't come up due when they closed out the account. And it didn't come up due when they transferred all the information over from the old account number to the new account number. It said it paid $288. That's what I paid. Put my new former card. You paid it on a new card. And I rolled out. I haven't had a problem since. I've been extending that vehicle for 4 months after that. This is where they fucked up. I called back to the do not rent list. Who was I supposed to pay that? Because I kept asking them, who I supposed to pay this to? That's why they never told me who I was supposed to pay it to. Because they had already fucked up. Not only Did you not inform me about the 140-42? You tried to destroy my credit. Them bastards had sent it to collections on March 15th. That is prior to me even finding out about on the balance. It was already in collections. That's why when y'all was on here talking about pay it. And I kept saying they never told me who to pay it to. That's why it was already sent to collections. I said, who's the collection agency? Oh, over in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, where U.S. Express was, that set me up to get my truck taken, saying that I was unhappy turning in your truck, and I was a lease purchase operator. I get these people on the phone, talk to them. She verified that we received the account on March 15th. I said, are you aware that you received an account that I didn't know the balance of? Hertz never informed me of the balance until April. I said, it's in dispute. She said, we're going to cease all communications. It's a disputed amount. I said, can you send me an invoice proving that you have it? She said, we need your address. No, you're not going to get my address. Everybody wanting my address. You're not going to get my goddamn address because you had no business with the account. Hertz sent the account to collections in March. When I found out about it in April, it was already at collections. So how in the hell was they sitting up here talking about I had to pay something when they already knew they sent it to a department where I couldn't pay Hertz? I had to contact the collections. That's why they were on here talking about offer a settlement. These bitches fucked up. And you need to be sued. Because right now, I'm in a financial hardship. I have no money. I haven't worked. I have no car to work. I have barely any food in the fridge. This is all I got. This is what I got. This is what happened since the 10th when I turned in that car. This is all I got. You can't eat condiments, jelly and grape. I scrubbed up and had some money to buy some bread. Got peanut butter left. Stuff to make some salad. That's it. You see any canned goods in here? I ain't got shit. Hertz need to be sued for placing me in a financial hardship over something they did that they fucked up on. I don't even owe. And then on top of that, you send it to collections. And this is all after. And this is funny how all this shit arose after I had went and put in an application for an apartment to get my fucking ass up out of this apartment because they switched my journal. In that apartment, the apartment somewhat similar, looked like a house. And everybody was around me talking about that. That's a house. That's a house. That's a house. That's what they were saying around me in my aura, my air, my circle. That's what they were saying. So all of a sudden, I started noticing games going on that happened to me when I was in my home at Warren Truck Plant. And this is exactly what the end result was. I ended up with no job. I resigned from the job, no money, and had lost my home. And I'm sitting here in a position right now where I'm about to lose my apartment. I don't have the rent. Somebody got on here, you got a CDL. If you get evicted, it's because you want to get evicted. Motherfucker, let me tell you this. Just because I got a CDL don't mean I'm going back into trucking. I'm fucking 53. Do you know how long I've been in the transportation industry? I don't mean just driving a truck. I've had a CDL since 1993, whether it was used in the industry or not. When I was out there in trucking, they were doing shit to get me out of trucking, talking about I had high blood pressure and all this shit. Give me 1 year physicals. Reducing physicals. Now you done did something that you done strictly fucked up and thought I could fall back on a CDL. I hope these motherfuckers didn't do this because you thought I was going to jump back into trucking. I told you. They put all this weight on me before I went on the cruise. Motherfucker, I would never pass the physical. You done fucked up now. What are you going to do? Because I'm looking for an attorney to sue them for every fucking thing that has happened to me with Hertz, with Uber, and at this goddamn apartment. I'm sick of this shit. And if we can bring U.S. Express back into it and all them other companies, Road One, for letting me go because if I complained about a safety issue that would have got them fined, Horizon that terminated me while I was at the mall, while the truck was in the shop, talking about for lack of freight when it was really because I complained about suing about sexual harassment through a group chat where I was being not sexual harassed through a group chat. Not sexual harassment. I was being harassed through the group chat. But you gonna tell me, you gonna use the words and thought that would be your scapegoat to free you from your legal obligations by stating to me you was letting me go for lack of freight. I was the only female there, out there on the truck. All these companies need to come out in a lawsuit. They done fucked up now. I can't go back to trucking. I'm not going back to trucking. And I think they took my income from me because they thought I was going to call somebody up and beg them for help. Send me some money. Help me. When I've been paying my bills all this time. And they've been doing all this shit, getting me in debt. But I've been paying my bills. You done fucked up. There's no way out of this now. I can't go back to trucking. I'm not going back to trucking. I won't even pass a physical to go back to trucking. And even if I could, I would not go back to trucking. I don't know why you did this. Hertz is responsible for this. Hertz need to be paying me. Hertz need to be contacting me immediately. We're sorry. Here's a car to get you back, and here's some money to get you started till you get your money back. And we're sorry for this incredible mix-up. It wasn't a mix-up. It was deliberate. Hertz is responsible for this. I'm just sitting here, sitting duck. Dirty truck. Peace out. What can I do? Nothing.